Welcome back to another episode of The Universal Lens, where we give you a peek behind the veil of the thinking mind so you can discover who you truly are. From anxiety, depression, OCD, any mental health or real-life struggle, we will show you how acceptance empowers you. Welcome back to another episode of The Universal Lens. You heard our new beginning. I don't need to say it again, where we give you a sneak peek, behind the veil of your thinking mind. I am, as always, John Emilio, along with
I'm still Henry Beltra.
the man, the myth, and the legend, Henry Beltra.
The flanker.
I'm sorry, I'm just put my phone on mindfulness mode. There we go. 1 hour.
Mindfulness teacher doesn't put his phone on mindfulness.
The kind that has a lot of people calling him at the same time and unfortunately forgets. So, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in again. Hope everybody enjoyed last week's episode.
Yeah.
It'll blend in.
I've listened to that one, yours, the one you did with Mike.
Oh, yeah, My God, Your God. Check that out if you haven't. It's on Podbean and
it's becoming a blur.
Spotify, Apple, not video, audio only. So far, it's had some pretty good tracking, so people are enjoying it. So anyway, thanks everybody for coming back here, and where we talk about the crap between your ears.
Oh.
And how it affects your life, and how it changes your everyday living, and how it changes the way you see things, and
who's ready?
How you relate with life, how you, as Milo is my dog is down here. If you hear a honking noise, it's my dog. Unfortunately, he's got kennel cough, the little guy, so I'm just keeping him down here with us so he relaxes. If you hear what sounds like a goose walking around, it's him. Wah, wah. So today, we were talking before the show. We have a lot of different conversations, some which are not universal lens appropriate because they would make no sense. Others that might be. We were talking about, this is a topic that I wanted to speak about last week, actually, which is, it's a two-faceted conversation. It's about humility and pride, right? And I think they kind of go back, they kind of go hand in hand with each other. Humility being, being humble, we know what that means, right? It's not about me. It's about doing the act because the act is important, not because of the praise that comes from doing that act. And pride, pride is one of the seven. I think it's one of the seven deadly sins.
I don't know.
I think it is. Pride is one of the seven deadly. Whatever.
But I'm feeling guilty now.
Because all right. So
I'm proud of something.
Let's backtrack a second. So I was listening to a podcast. And they they interviewed this an author. His name is Donald Walsh. And in a book, in that interview, they picked out a quote in his book, and I absolutely love this quote. So I'm going to read it to you now, and that'll kind of take us down the path that we want to go with the rest of the show. And he wrote a bunch of books about it. Anyway, Donald Walsh, and he says, "In the absence of what is not, what is not." On the surface, that sounds very confusing, right? Okay, so we're going to go a little further. In the absence of what I am not, what I am is not experienceable. Trying to make a little bit more sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I will call into my life the opposite of who and what I am to experience what I am. Now, this is me kind of trying to unwind that. In order to experience what we are, we need to have the opposite in our life. So going back to what actually was, in the absence of what is not, what is not. So, so for me, we're using the example of, let's just say, humility, right? So in order for me to experience humility, what do I call into my life? I need to have the opposite of what I am in my life. So he actually gave a great example. The gentleman, Donald Walsh, when he was talking on the podcast, he said, I think he's like 6 feet tall. He goes, I'm 6 feet tall. He goes, in order for me to experience being 6 feet tall, I need to have people around me who are shorter and taller. So in order for me to experience this, I need to have the opposite of me.
The yin has to have the yang.
Exactly, right? The yin, and then this goes back to every culture has this in their culture, right? Yin and yang. So in order for me to experience humility, and I use that because that's a very big one for me, I need to experience pride. Not me experience it as much, but I need to experience it in people around me. So when I'm around people who are very proud, and that's where my humility radar, or that's where I'm like, I wouldn't do it that way. Like, I wouldn't say that. I would just be proud inside us, and I've accomplished this, or my kids did that.
Correct.
But why do I need to tell everybody about it? And that's the whole social media crux we have nowadays, where everybody goes around posting everything on social media about how great their kids are. Guilty of doing it in the past. Guilty of
I'm
doing it in the past. I'm not sitting here on
guilty of doing it last week.
I'm and this is gonna sound horrible. Well, people gonna and I've had this conversation with friends, and they're gonna be like, "Well, why shouldn't I be proud of something my kids did?" I'm like, "It's not about being proud of something your kids did, or it's not about being proud of something that you did. It's about what are the avenues you go about, like, to say it." I get the world we live in with social media.
Yeah.
It becomes a slippery slope. I understand that, and this is probably going to be a touch and go conversation for some people. I'm sure there's going to be some people out there going to be like, "Well, I don't get that. I want my kid to get the accolades. The only way I could do that is by putting him out there and telling everybody what he did." I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can understand that. But from a holistic, universal kind of point of view, all I see on social media is the look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look. Where I think if you're the I like I said, humility, right? If you're the opposite of it, do you do yourself a disservice on the grand scheme of success, like, well, societal success? I think yes, you probably do, but that's a choice you have to make, right? So like, but for me, that humility is very important. Like, I'll do something and nobody will know about it. Could I get more fame? Absolutely, if I tell people about it. Could I get more recognition? Absolutely, if I tell people about it. Will I become more popular on social media? Maybe, if people
Right.
know about some of the things that I've done. But that's not why I'm doing it. So I'm not doing these things because I want everybody to know. And if somebody does find out and they go, "Hey, listen, just so you know, thank you very much for what you did," you accept that. That's called gratitude. And we've spoken about this on the show, right? You accept it. You accept those praise. You're very gracious for them. Thank you very much, right? Because or else you'd be, to turn away praise from somebody who wants to give it to you, I think isn't beneficial or healthy either. It's, "Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say that. I do appreciate it." Right? Okay. And I think that's a very healthy way to look at it, to look at that. But when I do something, I don't like to do that, because for me, again, this is a core value. Maybe not everybody has humility as a core value. They're more,
But in general, are you basically putting the ego in check? So, for example,
true.
the news of last week, my daughter committed, right?
Which is amazing, yeah, and I'm not, yeah.
So
I know this just sucks because
no,
I don't want it to sound like that.
but this is great. This is
which congrats to her, because that's an amazing.
This is what I say. What I always call, let's add meat to that bone, right? Let's not just talk about the bone. Let's add meat to the bone.
Yeah.
So my daughter, committed to a very good school and great conditions.
Something to be happy
My
for.
wife put
Sure.
out her photo shoot, right? She
Yes,
looks beautiful. We're so proud of her.
Hey, Erica, I'm not coming after you. Please don't send it. I love you. I'm not.
So I grabbed that.
It's a bigger conversation.
So I grabbed that and I put that on Facebook and I wrote, "Well, my heart will reside in Boise for a few years."
Yes.
Because that's where she's going. And at the same time that I can understand exactly what you mean, I have to make an assessment for myself, saying, who's saying this? Like, am I saying this to be a braggart,
True.
or
I hear you.
or what's in here? What's in here is I'm so proud of my daughter, and it ends there. It's not this. Hey, where's your kid going?
And I think that's why I said it's a slippery slope, and I'm not knocking people for doing it.
Right.
I'm trying to say, like, let's have this conversation about it, because I think it merits because you're bringing up a great point right now.
And I'm going to tell you this, to say that, I'll say this. We have friends, right? We have friends in that world. And the grand majority are very happy for her.
Of course.
But there is also a minority that, although they love her, they can't swallow it. And it hurts. And it's not anyone's fault. In other words, it's not because my daughter is a braggart, and it's not because this other girl is a evil person. It's just there's something, maybe an ego, not letting this person truly feel grateful for the other person and having that.
So you can. So here, watch this. Ready? What you just said is an amazing point. Amazing point, because I experienced this, right? And I think a lot of it is just your wiring from when you were younger, right? The way you were wired. I was brought up with a father who was a very generous man, and he still is an amazing person, right? Amazing guy. Yes, tough, strict, and all that stuff. But when he did something, the world knew he did it. I hated it. As a kid, because I always felt like this is the way I was coded. This is the way I was built. This is the way God made me, right? I always feel for the person. I go into their shoes and go, how does that make that person feel? You might not be intentionally trying to say it to hurt them, but how does it make them feel that there's somebody around you? They're the tree that can never get enough sunlight near you. They're the tree that can never get enough sunlight. And all you do is say, well, look at the sunlight I got and look at my new leaves. And here's this little tree. You can't get any sunlight because you're there. And that tree loves it loves the other tree. It doesn't wish them any will, but it's how does that tree naturally want to feel happy for that person? But here's the difference. That happens to me because I was that tree as a kid, the little tree that couldn't get enough sunlight at times. I never begrudged my sisters. They always did better than me in school. They got things first before I did. I never begrudged them, but I was always that little tree that couldn't get enough light. So I was hardwired as a kid, and I saw my father doing it to other people with, look what I did, and I'm this and I'm that, right? Because it was part of his, that's how I became successful.
Well, the ego was in full
Ego
control.
was in full swing. So I built up an anti-ego, I guess. I don't know, right? Or this, my humility value exploded because of it. As I got older, I didn't notice it in the beginning years ago when it would happen. I'd be like, oh man, no, what the hell? Like, why can't that happen to me or my kid or whatever it might be?
Right.
In the last 7 or 8 years, that thought comes up and goes, fuck, why? Thank you, thought. I'm so happy for you. That's
Yeah.
great. I would see it. I would see that automatic response come up and yet counteract it with, no, because this isn't who I want to be. I know this is who you want me to be, but this isn't who I want to be. Like in my heart, and that's why I say heart over mind, right? If your heart, mind, they talk together, yes. But that's why I say your heart will never lead you astray. If your heart is telling you to be happy for somebody, even if your mind is screaming not to, like that's why your point you made was great.
Yeah.
Be happy for that person. Like, congratulations.
Yeah.
You deserve the accolades. That's awesome for you. I'm so happy for you. I really am. That's great. Even if your mind is saying, what the fuck? Why not me? Why not us?
And you could totally be truthful about it because you are.
You are.
And I could tell there are, again, those people I'm thinking about, they are, they do wish her well, but at the same time, they have this dueling feeling, this.
So which feeling do they give more attention to?
I don't know if awareness is a big part of their life.
Well, you need that.
Right.
Without it, I think you're still just defaulting to a process.
Correct.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Sorry. Lie down. He's staring at me, my dog, like I have 4 heads. Yes, lick that and lie down. Good boy.
It's jealousy is a very ugly thing. So it makes you ugly at the moment because you can't even,
if you're acting it, if you
how
act it out,
a smile can't come across your face organically, but you see it. You know what I mean? So,
it's how the person acts after that. I think that's very important because if they're trying to put the smile on and they're saying the right things and they're genuinely trying to be happy for the other person, like that coded part of them, that predisposed part of them that wants to feel that jealousy because, somebody's doing something, they had some sort of accolade, you could almost understand why it's there. And it's not their fault.
I get
but it's how are you acting? Are you trying to be very genuine about it, or are you just kind of going through the motions? Because then it's a difference.
But you know why I get it? Because we practice what we practice. That's why I understand it. So
yeah,
I have nothing but love and sympathy for people that are struggling with that dueling feeling. That dueling feeling of, hey, I am proud of you, but at the same time, why couldn't it be my daughter?
Yes.
Why couldn't it be me?
Well, yes.
And so, but my awareness is enough that
excuse me,
I don't have any ill feelings towards those people.
No, because you understand where it's coming from.
I still value them the same way.
Yeah, you understand.
But I understand what they're going through.
But you understand what they're going through.
Right. And I understand where the whole, like you said, I understand where they're coming from. Yeah.
Which is like we were saying before, which is why I said this was a very kind of tricky conversation. Like people will be like, why shouldn't I be proud of my child? I think you can be.
Yeah. So
I think you can be proud of your child, but there's a difference between being proud of your child and putting your child on display. Even being proud of your own accomplishment and putting it on display. I think that's the key.
I think to add more meat to this bone, it's going to end up a big turkey leg by the time we're done.
Like the ones in Disney.
I can smell it already. He's here.
Yeah.
But like, let's say you take my situation, for example, right? So obviously I'm not there yet, but let's say, you watch me go through a career shift, a career change, took a big income hit. All of a sudden I'm pedaling. And here we are 5 years down the road and I'm doing way better. I am great. And now I go out and say how great I am, how good I am. Look what I did. Look at my car. Look at my this. Or nobody even knows where I'm at, what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
I'm a big believer in that. But it works for me, right? And I'm a big believer in that. And it could be because humility is such a big
Value.
value of my life.
Yeah.
Where I go through life saying, and I tell this to my kids, I go, we don't do things because we want other people to know we do things. We do things because it's something you wanted to do. Like you were drawn to help that person. And if you're helping that person, but then you got to tell 5 other people that you just helped that person, what was the reason why you helped that person? Because you wanted the accolades or because you wanted to help the person?
Yeah.
Well, why shouldn't I feel good if I did something? You could feel
Feel
good.
good.
But why does everybody else need to know?
Yeah, it's the extra.
It's the extra part. And I think it's a very, we live in a society, especially with social media, where it's about putting yourself on display, right? And it's almost become a precursor or a necessity for you to be successful nowadays. If you don't put yourself on display, nobody knows you exist.
Yep.
You don't become successful. Well, who's creating that value in society that has to be like that? An algorithm, a computer, right? The more everybody buys into it, the more it becomes more prominent, right? We're bringing it into fruition. We're actually going to make that the new God, right? It's got to be about us. I need to put myself on display for the whole world to know.
Yeah. I think we're to the point now, and I used to say this seriously. Now I say it in jest. If I don't wish my wife a happy birthday on social media or a happy anniversary on social media, I didn't do it. In other words, what I told her this morning in our bedroom, in private, and say, hey, happy birthday, happy anniversary. Can't believe it's been, 29 years, whatever it is. If you haven't done it on Facebook, you haven't done it.
You haven't done it.
That's where it counts.
It's a validation. People need to be validated from it.
Period. New sentence. I need to put the pictures of the restaurant we went to, the dessert with the little fireworks that came out.
And there might be a lot of people who we know who do this who are looking at us go, well, screw you two. Why are you guys picking on us?
And the pearl necklace that, everybody's got to see.
Whatever it might be.
The whole ritual.
Love my husband, take me to a great dinner tonight. And again, I used to be guilty of doing, not to that extent, but I used to be guilty of posting stuff like that.
The whole ritual has to be made clear. This is what I got. This is what I do. This is what I have. This is, Yeah. So it's a boastful event, even though we don't know it, even though we think we're very innocently doing it. But there's this line that comes into play where, okay, yeah, you're happy, you're proud of your daughter. Great.
And tell her, by the way,
Right.
Tell the person that you're happy and proud for them. Have the conversation with your daughter, with your father, your mother, your sister, your friend. Like, absolutely.
There's a line where the ego takes the little, what is it? The microscopic teaspoon you gave the ego by, hey, proud of you, babe. Great job. Your hard work was rewarded. But I gave my ego a microscopic teaspoon of nourishment.
Yeah.
Then my ego goes, whoa, hey.
Like steroids. Can I have some more?
Yeah. Hey, why don't you also say this and also talk about the time that she broke her leg and how she overcame it, and talk about the time that she was, and then what happens is you spiral into my daughter's better than yours. My daughter's,
it becomes I couldn't think of it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy eventually. Yeah. If being a proud and a person of pride is something that you value or something that you constantly do, that becomes self-fulfilling. That becomes something you do everywhere, every corner, every time. And when you have something good happen in your life, you need to tell everybody about it. Now, here's going to be the question I get. So we shouldn't celebrate our accolades?
Right.
No, you can celebrate your accolades. How are you celebrating your accolades? I mean, look, I use my ultimate mentor, right? I will say would be Jesus Christ, would say, what your right hand is doing, your left hand should not know. Basically saying, if your right hand is helping somebody, your right hand does not need to tell your left hand that it's helping somebody, right? So if I'm helping Henry do something or vice versa, he doesn't need to go home and tell his wife, you know what I did today? I went and me and John talked and John was having a bad day and I talked him out of it and it was great. I'm so awesome. This is great. I'm really great at mindfulness. Thank you. what he did was an amazing thing. Maybe he did help his buddy out and he did have a great conversation with them. And that was the beneficial part of it, right? You did an amazing thing for somebody. But when you go home and you have to tell like your wife about it, like I think that's where it becomes, like you said, you're giving the ego those little teaspoons of, I gotta tell my wife what I did. I gotta tell my wife what I did. I gotta tell my wife what I did. Now, if you get a job that you were trying to get and you come home, honey, I got the job. Can you feel the difference there?
Yeah.
You feel the difference, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a line.
There's a line. Like,
there is
like,
a
like,
line.
honey, I got it. I got the job. I got the job. They're giving me the salary. We're going to be okay.
There's a line. Yeah.
Oh, now, okay. Now you're sharing something. You're sharing something that is a benefit for everybody, not just that little thing in you that wants a, cookie. It's different. Your daughter got into Boise State. Right? Which is great. Happy. Love it. Right? I like the comments. I try not to even comment on the comments, but I liked it because I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy for Henry. It's like, I'm ecstatic for them. Right? You're Nina. It's amazing. I'm so happy for you, honey. This is great. This is great. This is great. This is great. Or I'll use my daughter, Sophia. This is great. Oh, I'm so happy that you got into XYZ and you're doing this and blah, 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 blah. Good for you, baby. I love you. I'm always here for you. Did you hear that my sister oh yeah, Joe, how you doing? Good. How's everything? Not bad. You know, my daughter got into like
you're killing all social norms. Yeah.
Right. But do you see the difference? To celebrate something with somebody you love, you could still, the humility does not need to be destroyed.
The awareness in you would have already.
Yeah, I'm not going to be popular probably, but still, whatever.
No, but this is good because if your awareness is sharp as ours is, you already know that the minute you notify that second and third person, you're gloating now.
And the urge is there, by the way.
You're gloating, but and
it's there because we're human,
and you're gonna want to rationalize it by saying it's my mom. Like,
why wouldn't I tell her? How many times my mom has told me, "Why don't you tell me that?" I'm like, "Why do I need to call you and tell you I spoke with her?"
It's my sister. Like, it's my uncle.
Yeah, I mean that's
so
tricky. It gets tricky.
By the fourth person that you're justifying, by the fourth person you're justifying that they need to know. I think that there's a level of awareness that's probably going to do this to you and say, I'm happy you're happy, but is this really, is this really?
It's like the text you get out of nowhere and says, hey, how you doing? So by the way, like it's the, hey, how you doing is a hook, right? We all get it. It's a hook. You get a text. Hey, how you doing? By the way, this is what's happening in my life right now. All right. Now, if that person comes to you, hey, how you doing? I'm having a horrible, like, it's again, like the context makes a difference, right? The person is texting you going, hey, how you doing? A, B, and C happened. This is great. My daughter, my kid, my son, my brother, my father, my mother, my house, my this, my that, blah, blah, blah. Look what's happening in my life. Well, like, I feel that difference immediately. I'm like, well, what's that about? Like, okay, why do you need to tell me that out of nowhere? And my humility alarm starts to ring. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I'll engage the conversation because there's some people that I care about, but I see where it's coming. Like what you just said, like I see where it's coming from, even if they don't. They don't realize, most people don't realize they're feeding their ego when they do it.
Yeah.
They'll go under the umbrella of, no, I love you. I just want to share my good news with you. Okay, you might.
You just did a big dip potato.
Yeah. Like, maybe you do. You know what? Maybe you do. Maybe you truly do. But I'm going to say there's that part of you that's getting the tickle, right?
100%.
And we're human, so I'm not saying we have to be perfect in it. We're just saying, pay attention before you go into that fourth or fifth person. Hey, share the news that everybody's already hearing about.
Yeah. I mean, look, I can't blame you for being so incredibly proud of
Absolutely.
it. You know?
That's what I'm saying. This is a gamble, this conversation.
But definitely have some awareness in the matter. That's all. Because, if you don't have the awareness, then you'll come across as somebody who you're probably not, or maybe you are.
Well, you'll know if you're not because it won't feel right when you do it.
Yeah.
It won't feel right. Like if somebody asks you, hey, by the way, I know she was applying to schools. Whatever happened? Yes. That's a conversation. Oh, she got accepted too. She got a full, they gave her this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's great. That person's inquiring now. But when you're shouting it from the heavens, like, right. And again, I use, I know it does not, this show kind of, it's more the universal perspective, the life perspective. I would like to say beyond just mental health, it's more of a life perspective. But again, like I always go back to what would he do? Like,
yes,
when Jesus cured the leper, did he go, come here? You know I cured that guy today? Did you know?
Tell
Tell him.
Tell him how I cured you.
Tell him. Tell him. Saul, tell him what happened. They're not going to believe me if you don't
Come
tell
on,
them.
bro.
You didn't have a social media be like, hey, cured a leper today.
Look,
How you
me-
doing? JD, hashtag me.
This is me and Saul.
Yeah.
Just 10 minutes ago, he was full of leprosy.
So, like, it wasn't around back then. I'm going to assume that a man like Jesus wouldn't have done that. But, in today's society, this is so prominent.
Yeah, that really
it's so and it's so easy. How hard is it to go like this? Copy paste, really forward copy paste. Look what my kids did. Look where my kids are.
It broke our society.
Yeah,
really
look, and again, I'm not casting shade on people who do this. I'm trying to bring awareness to society when they do it. If that makes any sense, right? So all my friends who've done stuff like this, I'm not sitting here talking holier than thou, talking down to you, chastising you. No, I get where it comes from.
Not yet.
We're all humans. I get where it comes from. It's just pay attention to what you're doing. Like, even they have this thing now where the kids, when they get accepted to a school, right? I got accepted to college. Nobody fucking knew where I went. When I got accepted to school, not only do we post it and tell the whole world about it, but then we even dress up the room, and the room's got to look like, it's like my daughter's going to Seton Hall, let's just say, right? And it's going to be all Seton Hall stuff. And she's going to be on a bed with Seton Hall stuff, right? And we have to do this glam. I don't know what they call it. It's like a glam shot, right?
Why do I not know about this?
I don't know, because your daughter probably didn't do it.
What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, or your kids didn't do it, right? I don't think my daughter did it. I'm hoping I did.
So this is a thing.
It's a thing that, and so my daughter, I'll give her credit. She's not like that. She is very humble, and so is my son. I mean, with me, they could be, they'll give it to me and they'll brag to me a little bit, but that's just to piss me off. It's, that's just fun love.
Father and kids.
Yes, father and kids, but I don't think my daughter didn't do it. But and again, if you did it, I'm not saying you did something horrifically wrong. You didn't. It's innocent. It's proud. It's, I get it. You're showing what your child accomplished. I understand. But you want to fix society? Like, I'm in the job of fixing society. Unpopular as it might be with a lot of people in my life, like, I'm called to fix things. I'm called to show people things. I'm not here to make friends and appease everybody. So like if there are people doing it, it's just, we're trying to bring awareness to why. Okay. Like we always say, right? It's not what you're doing. How are you doing it?
Take what you just said and remember the old, when you're in school, because I think people watching are probably more our age, but back in the day, you would put the clear slide on the projector, and then the projector would show you on the screen.
Yeah.
What the clear, but there were clear papers with writing.
We're writing on it, and it would project onto the screen.
What do you call that paper? I forget that clear paper.
I don't know.
But what I envision in my mind is you just described a situation with all, we've gotten to the level of absurdity where I like that. Where you must decorate your room and get on your bed, and everything has to be blue and white and resemble the Seton Hall pirate. And there's all this paraphernalia, and then you have to do a glam photo shoot and put that out
because like a centerfold shot.
Because if you don't do that,
with clothes on.
Because if you don't.
I said no. I had to follow that because I said like a centerfold shot. Other people think, dude, my kids aren't fucking naked. What are you talking about? I get it. It's probably a poor choice. I might have to edit that out, but go ahead. That might not be a show.
This is gold. But you take that situation with, again, you fell into it very innocently because that's what everybody's doing.
That's what I'm trying to say before too,
but
right?
Now
it's not with malintention. Well,
I want you to take that thin piece of clear paper that has writing on it and layer it on top of the situation. That thin, clear piece of paper is awareness. Put it on top and now view it.
Ooh, I like this.
And what you're going to see is,
me gusta.
What am I doing? Like, I'm doing a whole color-coded photo shoot in my own, just to say my daughter has been accepted into this university. So what I'm doing is just continuing to make a huge spectacle of something that is really just a very nice, private, awesome moment that we all feel it. But there's no need to go to, a little more. We're going to have a sweet 16, a sweet 16 that doesn't look like a wedding nowadays is not a sweet 16.
No.
In other words, this is, you don't love me.
You don't love me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
that's what we said before, right? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Do you see how the one little thing, post a picture, becomes 2, becomes 3, becomes a photo shoot in my bedroom. It becomes, in the
it's
state,
a mini wedding.
it's a mini wedding. And again,
And if you don't do it,
like
you hate your daughter.
or if you don't do it, you're almost not accepted by society anymore. If you don't post it, you're the outcast. You're the one. You think, why can't you post it? Why think you're too good to post what your kids are doing? You think you're better than us because you don't post it? No, I'm see, and that becomes the unfortunate. The perception becomes you think you're better because you don't do it. And I'm like, no, it's not. I don't think I'm better than anybody.
But these are the rules established.
I don't like the yucky feeling that happens when I do it.
These are the rules established by the people in society that are basically living their lives based on the rules imposed by what they do.
By the algorithms.
On the algorithm.
The likes, the forwards.
If you, once again, put a layer of awareness and now view what you're doing right now when you're saying, you would know, hey, it's grand enough that the event happened between us, that you turned 16, that you got into a great college, whatever it is, you got engaged, you got married, you got a raise, got the job, whatever.
Back in the day, people will find out just by word of mouth eventually. Oh, did you hear Joey got married? Oh, that's great. Good for him.
Just do a gut and ego check. That's basically, why am I doing this?
Yep.
Am I doing this because I do just want everybody to know, hey, Giovannina got into Boise State and we're very proud of her? Or, hey, look how awesome. Look how awesome. Let me tell you something. Boise State has a blue football field. It's the only one.
Actually, they do. It's pretty cool.
Boise State, you know what? They're going to be in the Pac-12. They're leaving the conference. They're going to be Pac. Oh, forget about that. They're going to be playing. Oh, my God. Yeah. Did I mention D1? D1. So at some point.
Yeah, and I know you guys did none of that. I get it.
You didn't notice it.
No.
But you fell down the slippery slope of the ego.
Yeah.
The ego has the back.
It's like, well, in OCD we say backdoor spike, but the ego does it too. It'll put on a sheep's costume
all
even
the
though
time.
it's a wolf. And be like, no, we're innocent.
The ego is
you're just being nice. You're telling them how great of an event it was and how proud you are of your daughter.
The ego
tell them this too.
Is the ultimate shapeshifter.
The tail comes out from the back of the costume and you see it's a wolf. Like,
the ego is the ultimate shapeshifter.
I like that.
Ultimate. I'm telling you, for people that are aware, it is the ultimate shapeshifter.
And it doesn't stop trying, by the way. It doesn't stop.
You can be as mindful as you want. The ego will surprise you.
Well, they say, right, with spirituality, then there's a spiritual ego. You're not as spiritual as me. No. What does that sound like? All he did goes, well, he doesn't want to talk about how great he was here. Let's talk about how great he is here instead. And you're like, yeah, but this is innocent. This is spirituality. This isn't about my money. This isn't about how much money I have or how well my life is or how hot my wife is or how great my kids are. This is how spiritual I am. I'm so spiritual. I'm like an aura shining in the light, in the dark. Hi. What do you think you're doing? It's the same exact thing, right? It'll do that. I love it. Yeah. Shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the point of this episode was to bring, again, like what we always try to do. We try to get the flashlight and go, here he is. Oh, wait. There he is. Oh, there it is.
Try to hide.
Yeah. And our job on this show is to show you where those intrusive thoughts, where the mind's always to try to trap you, where it's trying to keep you stuck, where the ego wants to pop up. And this is more of an egoic episode, right?
This is part of it, though.
This is part of it. Like, you don't realize you fall into those traps. So if you value like something like humility, getting back to what we said in the beginning of the show, the only way you're going to realize you're a humble person is if you not surround yourself by, but if you can see the pride in people around you.
Yes.
Or to use a word that maybe is not as, what's the word I'm looking for? As, not attacking. Oh my God, I can't think of the word.
Negative?
Not has a negative connotation. It's the ego, right? Instead of pride, I don't want to give it a negative connotation. The word pride,
Hear you.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Not as polarizing. That's it. It's the ego. It's the ego trying to say, yes, you could be proud. You could be proud of something that you did. Like personally, yeah, listen, I'm sure I worked hard at it. Like his daughter should be very proud of what she accomplished. That's for her. That's for her. Once I got to tell everybody else, and I'm not saying that you posted it once, but once you're walking around and you're constantly going, yeah, so I got to do one. I got to, or my daughter going, so I got into this school. I got into the school this. I got into school this. I got into school this. I'm not to make it about, because it it wasn't about them. It was just an example. Like I can say my daughter who's going to Seton Hall, right?
That's it.
She's there for a 6-year program for speech pathology. And
That's right.
education.
That's right.
Right?
Double.
6-year. Yeah, I don't know how happy I should be about that, but she's going to be cautious. My daughter double that. I can be proud of my daughter. My daughter can be proud of herself for the things that she did. But once I got to tell everybody about it, what am I doing now? Who am I actually, whose back am I scratching? Who am I feeding right now? Right? You're trying to make yourself feel better. And you do that by comparing yourself to somebody else and say, well, oh, that's nice. Your kid got into that D2 school. That's great.
And the ego knows.
The ego knows.
He's very slick.
Yeah. And when I go on social media and I see most people posting stuff where I'm talking with somebody and they got to, they go, well, yeah, I did this for years and I retired it and I'm this and I'm doing this thing and I'm doing that thing and I won't say a word. And I'll have people talk for me and I won't say a word. I'm this and he's that like that too. He's actually, and I'm like, why are we telling people that what I'm like? I'm not even saying it. Like, I'm not saying a word. That's another way people hide it. They go, I'm going to say it about him. So it doesn't sound like I'm saying it about me. So, Henry's an excellent real estate agent. Excellent. Like we both are. We're great real estate agents, but Henry's a great, Henry, you do it too, right? That's great, Henry. Well, who are you actually doing? Am I trying to talk about my friend Henry and how great he is at something and maybe help him? Or am I trying to say, no, Henry's great. We both are, right? I've been doing it. And Henry, how long are you doing it now, right? It's me. I'm trying to, hello, look at me, but I'm going to throw him in here so everybody doesn't think I'm a complete tool for doing it. Like, maybe I'm hoping a lot of you out there going like this, okay? Guilty. I've done that. And I'm going to say for the most people out there, you probably didn't even do it maliciously. You do it unconsciously, not even realizing it.
Well, because our goal is always to obtain and amplify awareness on
the show,
inside of all of us. So this is part of it. This is even a mirror to ourselves. Like,
100%.
This is even something that we practice. And this is not something that, because going back to your original point, is when you literally, a stranger, you walk into Starbucks and you order your drink, you're like, okay, well, that ridiculous. You don't know pride unless you know humility, and you don't know humility unless you know pride.
Exactly.
So if I step up to the counter and I am a humble, at least I think I would like to lead my life in a humble manner.
You are.
I'm saying in this ridiculous case, if the person behind the register is, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, and then say, yeah, which one? Oh, yeah, well, we all love that here. You can immediately understand if this person is pride first, ego first, is definitely humble, and it keeps your humility sharp.
Yeah.
And then you realize, okay, great. And now you go to your next interaction.
I love this summation.
And then your next interaction is Home Depot. Oh, there
perfectly
you are, Home Depot.
Done.
And you ask the Home Depot guy, hey, excuse me.
Well said.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that, bro. You're trying to do a copper that doesn't go. And you immediately size up that you're a humble person and you're not about to even interrupt this big long-winded soliloquy about how he knows more about plumbing than everybody else because he used to work 16 years as a private plumber. Now he's working at home. Okay. But you would not have had your humility sharpened if you not have run into this guy who is master plumber. You're such a master plumber. What are you doing at Home Depot? Is what eventually drives you.
Yeah. So that becomes a reaction eventually. If your ego gets so infuriated and you buy into it, now it becomes a shit slinging contest.
And keep going.
And it keeps going.
And keep going.
And it keeps going.
Your interactions everywhere.
But you said it perfectly, and I love it. The way we see it in ourselves as we see it in other people. And that's the important part, right? We need to see it by seeing it in ourselves, the true value shows even more and bubbles up to the surface even more when you see the things that you don't like in yourself. But the ability to see the things you don't like in yourself only happens with practicing awareness, with being able to watch your thoughts and disidentify with what your mind tells you you think you are, the way you have to be, your identity, what you actually are. And you realize I'm none of that things. I'm this thing that gets to watch it and pick and choose. And now you let your morals and your values guide you. So now maybe that person was telling you about how great they are as a plumber. Okay. So you're saying I should use the lead thread to thread that pipe, right? Oh yeah. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you diffuse that person, and maybe they go, "Oh my god, I just sound like a fucking buffoon." Like I'm telling this guy, the guy asks a simple question, and I'm giving them a 10-minute answer on why, plumbing one, whatever it might be, and you don't realize it even happens. If you're unconscious and you're not aware, you won't even realize it happens. You won't. And if you're out there and you're hearing this and you're like, "Screw you guys,"
No, you're not a bad person. It happens.
You're not a bad person, but if you're saying "screw you guys," I say take a deeper look, take a closer look at your social media profiles, see what's on it, and not shaming anybody, but see what's on it. See what you're telling people about, And I get social media, we interact with family, we share pictures. I understand that, right? I get it to a certain level, like, hey, Tony graduated from college. Here's a picture of him at graduation. Okay, it's a picture so the family can see it. Beautiful, fine. Where does it go from there? Right?
Yeah.
There's a fine line between, sharing something with people you care about and sharing something with people you care about because I want to feel better about myself. Because when you stop trying to feel better about yourself, you know what you do? You actually feel great about yourself all the time.
Oh,
because you're not comparing yourself to anybody anymore.
That is, I'm telling you, deep. Very good. Very nice.
When you stop trying to
very nice.
That's where you will find ultimately where you go, I love myself. You know why? Because I'm not trying to be anybody but myself.
That is
done. I'm not trying to compare myself to you. Once I stop playing that game, it's great.
And once you love yourself, you realize, Jesus, I've been a silly idiot this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry said it best. Our goal on this show is to try to highlight where we all, not people out there, we all, including us too, are all our human deficiencies and where we fall short of what we're intended and meant to be as human beings on this planet. Where we fall short, society helps, but where we fall short is what we're trying to show people. And hopefully they're seeing it and they're making little adjustments in their life and they're changing the way they say and do things. And by the way, does life feel a little bit less, does it feel, it's boring now that I'm not doing this? I won't use the word boring. I use the word peaceful. It's a lot more peaceful life.
Yeah. And matter of fact, you're going to have, if you truly obtain awareness, you're going to have quite the adjustment once you're in this awareness realm. You're going to have quite the adjustment, and it's a beautiful one, but you're definitely going to have one where, wow, the way I used to do something and the way I do it now, and the result of that, it's night and day, craziness. But
I like this episode.
Keep on going. Keep on going. Obtain awareness, expand, amplify awareness.
I like
and
this
then
episode.
Share awareness.
Like it. Yeah, share it. Tap the person next to you.
Speaking of sharing, you know what you can do with this episode?
Share, like, subscribe.
You can share it, like it, subscribe it.
I'm going to try to put that in the ending too, so it's already written in there.
Yeah,
so everybody hears every week.
Help us help. If somebody in your life that you think could benefit from this, help us help. We're very palatable. At least I think so. Very palatable.
We're very everyday-ish.
And I don't know. There's a lot of struggles out there right now, and if your struggles are in the mental realm and emotional and whether it's OCD, anxiety, depression, whatever the flavor, if you are under the care of a doctor, which is the way it should be, fantastic. This show really helps that along and really helps fast forward, I think, the process. And in terms of once you see what can be, and once you see that there's two people bearing their souls every week here, you're going to feel like, hey, I'm just like those guys. I'm going through the same thing that they're going through, and they're talking about it. So I like that. I'm going to listen, and it's going to help me reinforce what I'm doing, behind closed doors with my therapist. And that reinforcement really fast forwards you, and the improvements in your life and in yourself just begin to multiply and happen. And anyway, hopefully you get more from this terrestrial experience.
Well, I think terrestrial experience. Yeah, no, I think that was a great episode. I think it was a great topic. Hopefully everybody got a little help from it. And like Henry said, follow along. If not, don't follow along. But we hope you do. And I guess we'll see everybody next time. And always remember, guys, it's not what you do, but it's how you do it. Universal Lens, out. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Universal Lens. Please always remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. And always remember, it's not what you do, but how you do it. The insights and discussions that we speak about on our show are our own opinions and based on our life experiences. If you or someone in your family or someone you know is suffering and in need of help, please get them that help through medical attention or seeking proper therapy. Again, what we speak about are based on our experiences and not intended to be taken as a form of therapy. Thank you.